and welcome to my channel. My name is Cassandra and I am an avid knitter based in Ottawa, Ontario. And I thought it would be fun to share a little bit about what I have been working on lately. So first up, we have a project that I have been working on for a few months now, and honestly, I haven't picked it up in about a month. And all that needs to be done is to weave in the ends. This is the Sea Glass sweater by Woolen Pine Designs, and I knit this in drops Lima. I used 6 different colors for the contrast, and then I held a white as the main color, and I think it's really pretty. I just need to weave in the ends and block it, and then it will be done. Next up, we have a pair of socks, which I actually keep in my purse. So I already have one sock done, and the other sock just needs the toe. So I'm really close to finishing this. It is 56 stitches on a size 1 needle. I'm using the ChiaoGoo red lace 9-inch circulars. It's my first time using 9-inch circulars, and I really like it. I feel like it's really speedy and I just zoom around. I like to mark every 20 rows, and then if I have an odd number of stitches, then I'll put a different colored stitch marker to mark that there are 10 rows here instead of 20. The yarn that I've used for this is, I think it's pronounced Scheepjes, but I'm not actually sure. I'll have it linked down below. And I lost the ball band, but I think that it's their Arcadia line in the color Outback. But I actually picked it up when my partner and I were traveling in France, and we went to Dijon, and so I wanted kind of a mustardy kind of color to represent Dijon. So I think that these are perfect for that. Moving on to my third project, it is the Step by Step sweater by Florence Miller, and I'm doing the striped option. So this project is being knit for my brother, and I'm not exactly sure how long it needs to be. I'm waiting for him to send me measurements. So I stopped working on the body and I picked up a sleeve and knit it until it was a bit longer than the body. And I'm just working on the second sleeve now. I did have a bit of trouble meeting gauge on this project. So the gauge for this project is supposed to be 16 stitches and 20 rows and 10 centimeters using a US 9 5.5 millimeter needle, but I had to go down a needle size, so I'm using a size 8 5 millimeter needle. And I'm also using ChiaoGoo. These are the interchangeables, and it's the twist cable, I think. It's the ones that you can turn all the way around. And this may be controversial, but I am the type of person who doesn't care about the length of the cord. So I'm knitting these sleeves using magic loop, and then I'm actually using the same cable length to do the body, so it's just really scrunched up. The yarn that I'm using for this sweater is Drops Nepal. So I believe it's a 65% wool and 35% alpaca. And the main color is this beautiful kind of rusty orange, and it is color number 2920. And then the contrast for the stripes is this yellow, and it is color number 8920. And then the final whip that I have on my needles is just the beginning of the Tendril Cowl. And as you can see, I actually stole the needles from it, so this has been kind of on hold, but I've just started the cables. I don't know how well you can see that, but this yarn is so soft. Oh, here's the label for my socks. So yeah, it is Arcadia. Oh, and I was wrong about the color. It's called Savannah. The yarn that I'm using for the Tendril Cowl is one that I picked up when my boyfriend and I were in Geneva, and it is from Soie, and it's a Swiss handmade yarn. It is called Josephine Big, and it's in the color Sand. It is 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere, and it is just the softest yarn I have ever felt. This is it all caked up in a little yarn cozy from Nitty Natty. So hopefully I will get back to this cowl soon. It has been pretty chilly here in Ottawa, so it would be nice to have this. I think my plan is once I weave in the ends on my sea glass sweater and get the length that I need on the step-by-step sweater, I will get back to this because I like to have a project for at home that's maybe a little bulkier or requires a bit more thought, and this I really need to be constantly looking at the chart for. I'm pretty new to cabling, so hopefully I will get back to this relatively soon and we'll actually be able to get a bit of wear out of it this winter. So those are all of my whips, but I thought it might be fun to talk about my next cast on. So I have all the yarn I need for a sweater for my mom, and it's all housed in this basket here, along with the needles that I need. So this sweater is going to be the Lopi 1807 Pullover, which is a sweater by Lopi Design, and I actually did cast it on. It's a bottom-up sweater, which will be my first time knitting a bottom-up sweater, pretty fun. And I cast it on and I did the body ribbing and then did the increases for the body itself. And my mom tried it on and she thought it was just a little bit tight. So what I'm going to try is, instead of casting on the number of stitches recommended for the ribbing, I'm just going to cast on the number of stitches recommended for the body and then not do increases before the body. And I'll have her try it on. I'm going to see her at the beginning of April. It is currently February 13th right now. So that gives me about a month and a half to get started on that and have a decent enough portion of the body done for her to be able to try it on and get an idea of the fit before I continue and knit the entire sweater. And all the color work for the most part is in the yoke, so I won't have to redo the color work if it's not fitting. The last knitting related thing that I wanted to chat about today is my stash and my stash goals. So I guess the backstory. This past year, my boyfriend and I were living abroad and I brought about 4 kilos of yarn with us with the idea that I would use it up and have more room in my suitcase to bring different stuff back. But then as we were traveling, I ended up purchasing yarn as souvenirs, and I didn't end up using a lot of that yarn right away, so I brought back a lot of yarn. Which means that at the beginning of 2026, my stash started out with 4,666 grams of yarn in it, and that is including scraps, but the scraps add up to less than a quarter of my total stash. I'm not too worried about it. I still want to work on my scraps, but I think my main goal is just to reduce the total number of grams in my stash, which I haven't done very well so far because in January, my parents were up in Ottawa and we ended up buying all that yarn for my mom's sweater, which brought me up to 5,967 grams, which is equal to over 15 kilometers of yarn, and that is kind of crazy to think about. So yeah, my goal for this year is to work a lot from stash, to only bring things in if I have an idea of what I want to work on with it, and hopefully at the end of this year I will have less yarn in my stash. I am also a pretty avid reader, as you might be able to tell from the bookshelf behind me, but I thought it would be fun to chat a little bit about what I have been reading. So first up, my book club has been reading through the Agatha Christie Poirot books. So currently we are reading The Big Four, and we're about a third of the way through. We have to meet to chat about it, and then I'm excited to see where it goes from there because it's really good so far. I'm enjoying it. Personally, I think that Poirot and Hastings are lovers, but if anyone has opinions about that, I would love to hear about it. And then I have also been reading a book by a local author named Emily Murray. It's called Danny and Danny, and it is set in small town Ontario, close to the Quebec border, and just about a city girl moving there, falling in love. It is okay. I think that the story is really intriguing and I want to know what happens next and what happens to the characters, but it is self-published and I think that it could benefit from a bit more editing, but that's just my opinion. So thank you for being here and watching through the end of the video. I really appreciate it and hopefully I will see you soon. Bye!